I'm taking a look at this leopard. He should back up. Never mind. He's going back in the city. I'm going to try to attack this JP that was last spotted here. He's here. Put a shot in his side. One in. I think I can get a second one. He's distracted with our 430. Put that second one in. I might be able to kill him right here. Come on, DPM. There we go. Third in. He's probably going to face me now. He can't. What is he doing? Oh, he's facing me. Big time. Mission abort. Mission abort. In this video, we are going to take a look at one of the greatest carries I've been a part of in a full tier 10 light tank platoon. This is one of those games where towards the end, you're against all odds, outnumbered and outgunned, but still are able to pull it off by outsmarting your opponent. And these games are by far my favorite games of World of Tanks, because it gets your heart pumping towards the end, and there is such a good feeling when you finish a carry like this. The feeling is hard to describe, but I'm sure many of you have had that feeling in the past and know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the setup here. We are on Ghost Town. I'm in my WZ tier 10 light tank. I have two of my friends. One's in the EBR, Paige. I'm trying to teach him how to play the EBR. And another is a very strong light tank player, light tank whisperer in the Manticore. So this is the setup here, and I'm going to this very popular light tank spot on the left side with my WZ, just trying to get some initial spots. Had a few shots at the mediums, but let's switch over to Paige in his EBR. So we're both in Discord right now, and our Manticore is alerting the team to a T100 in the bushes on the 8 line. So Paige with his EBR, which EBR is very good at outspotting enemy light tanks, and here he goes. He finds the T100, puts a shot into him. The T100 gets lit up, and he's gonna die in a second here. So this is one of the better opening moves of a light tank. Once, if you can find an enemy light tank hidden in a bush, as an EBR, you can go and easily outspot him. Now Paige is still learning how to play his EBR, and he tries to go in and brawl with this T62A, which is one of the worst mediums you can attack with an EBR because it's so flexible, has a decent amount of armor to stop your bullets in the front at least. It's just a very bad medium to be engaging with your EBR. So that was a blunder on his part, but he got away alive, and he's doing the right thing here. He's retreating. So let's switch back to me in the WZ. I'm still in this position trying to get shots in these mediums as they cross, and I decide, hey, look, you know, the one line we're winning on the medium side, so I'm going to join the fight here and end up being the tip of the spear as they push up. So there's only a 430U on the enemy team alive. I was about to flank him, but I didn't need to. And now I'm pushing up, sort of leading this enemy team, our allied mediums right here. Spot this leopard, put a shot into him, get some spotting. Leopard retreats, so I advance. And so if you look at the enemy team, the only two unspotted tanks right now are 2 tank destroyers, which are probably in the back on the A line. So what I'm doing is, knowing that I have an Arty to support me, I am pushing ahead here, and I realize I'm not getting spotted, so there's probably no TD up until A5. So I'm pushing up here. I know it's pretty safe. The leopard's too far away to spot me. I do spot the leopard. I probably could have shot him there if you look at the mini-map, but my reaction was a little bit delayed. But here we go. We find the Arty, put a shot into him. That Arty is terrible traverse speed. Let's see if we can put another one in here. Put another one in. And we also spotted the JP E100. It's a very tough tank to pen if he's facing you in this light tank. So I figured the JP would have turned around to shoot me, so I'm focusing on this leopard first. But as I see, the leopard is going back into town, so I'm going to try to light up this JP for the arty and maybe put a few shots into him if I'm lucky. One shot in, right into his side, and he's occupied with our 430U in version 4, so he's not going to turn to me, so I'm going to get free side shots here. Put a second shot into him. And what I love about this WZ is it has the highest pen, besides the Manticore, the highest pen of all tier 10 lights in the game, and it allows you to hit these heavy targets more effectively. So we're aiming in, trying to finish him. He turns towards us, so I'm loading heat, because this heat shell has some potential to pen his lower plate, but it's just not worth facing off a JP when you don't have a sure thing to pen his lower plate. So I'm looking at this T62A, put a shot into him, and now their Sheridan is charging. Do I get the shot here? Yeah, get the shot on the Sheridan. Now we have map control. When you kill all enemy lights, you're gonna have map control. We have two light tanks left, and we're actually winning by one tank. But take a look at the enemy's lineup. You have an FV Chieftain on their team, and he has the majority of his health left. Very overpowered tank, and a very good player. He's a Unicum player after we checked him out after the game. So this is not over. They probably have more health than us, and you know we're just trying to strategize our next plan of attack, because as you can see on the minimap, we're sort of surrounded. There's a JP up top, the Chieftain coming down south. So what I'm doing here is, I know my team is focusing south, but if I can knock out this JP, I'm going to, you know, really, you know, make the odds in our favor. But he's not coming over, so I imagine the JP went city, so I'm going to try to help south. And so our arty dies, and here we are, 2 tier 10 light tanks against 4 pretty heavily armored, 3 tank destroyers and 1 chieftain, 1 Unicum chieftain. So I spot that E3, put a shot into his side, and I'm just trying to get unspotted here. We're trying to knock out this E3. I'm in Discord trying to knock out this E3 because he's sort of alone right now. You have probably the Chieftain on our base and the E4 probably just behind the Chieftain. So we're trying to get an opportunity to shoot this E3 side. I try to go to the left a little bit, then I realize I can shoot him here. And that was the most unlucky shot in the game right there. I should have had him. But we're just trying to get an easy shot here without risking too much of our health. But let's take a closer look at the minimap. Now I'm thinking time is against us, because we have the Chieftain on cap with about 50 seconds to spare. The E3 behind him. The JP was last spotted up here. He's probably moved to either here or into the city, is my guess at the time. And you also have the enemy E3, which is sort of in the open right here. So as you can see, if the enemies were to converge on us, it would essentially be a half circle surround, and we wouldn't be able to fend them off, especially because all these are heavy targets, and even if we shoot gold, we're not going to be penning them in the front very much. So we have to make a decision now to change the tide of this game. And one thing that we realized, and we discussed this over chat, is this E3 is sort of separated from the group in a relatively open area. And the key to winning these 2v4 type games, because we're just 2 light tanks against 4 very heavily armored targets, is that you have to separate your enemy and kill them one by one. So I realized that sooner than later, either the enemies are going to push us and help this E3 out, or they're going to cap us. So what we decide is to send the EBR in to assassinate the E3. There's a lot of mounds over here, a lot of little tiny hills that the EBR can drive around to avoid the E3's gun and get to the back of them and assassinate the guy. So even though the WZ, myself, is at full health, we decide to send the EBR because, as everyone knows, the EBR is much more mobile and can get to the back of this E3 and pen him rather easily. So that's the plan. Let's see how it goes. And so we're switching to Paige and his EBR. I tell him to go out here to assassinate this guy, and he does it really well. He uses these mounds to avoid the E3's gun, and he puts a shot into his side. So the rest of this game, Paige and his EBR is going to be the hero of this game. He just somehow penned the lower plate of the Chieftain with heat. That's something that's very rare in the EBR, but he does it and he resets cap. And so what I'm doing in my WZ is I'm going to take shots, but I can't pen any of these guys' fronts reliably, especially with my accuracy, so it's really up to the EBR to flank them, and that's exactly what he's going to do in a second. You can see me shooting in the right corner. I am able to reset cap with HE, so cap isn't really an issue. We're just trying to kill them. And this was sort of a bad move by Paige. He should have been shooting the E4, but there he goes. He shoots him, so that was actually good. That was a good idea. So the E3's down. You have a JP and a Chieftain. JP is getting angry and he's charging. And so Paige and his EBR does the smart thing. While I'm distracting the JP, he puts a shot into his back, assassinates him. And the Chieftain's probably scared right now. I mean, it's against 2 light tanks. He does have very good armor and he can block us from the front pretty easily. But if we sandwich him like we're about to do, there's no way he's going to win. So he gets off cap, knowing he can't cap. He's trying to get... I think the Chieftain was trying to get to the mountains area to try to do a last stand. And Paige in the EBR, with his excellent gun handling, is able to finish the job. So let's take a look at the post-game stats. We're taking a look from my side of the point of view, which is the WZ-131-1, the Tier 10 Chinese Light. We didn't get a Mastery Ace from this, but this was still a very good game, and we put in the work to turn this one around. And this is exactly how, you know, these types of games are the ones that really start to increase your win rate. So as you can see, you know, nothing extremely incredible from either of us. We did, I think, as the WZ, I did about 4,300 damage, 3 kills, 1,000 spotting, and the EBR did around 3,000 damage, 4 kills, and 1,200 spotting. Combined, we did around 7.5k damage and 7 kills, but we pulled off that 2v4 at the end of the game to finally get to the victory. And it was just an incredible game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.